How do you find the best rap instrumental to use? Is it a YouTube type beat? Is it locking in with a producer friend that you know? Is it cooking beats up yourself? As a professional audio engineer, I've seen a lot of common mistakes, and I feel like I could give some advice to help the artist pick the best beat before they come to the studio. Because if you pick the wrong beat, it will ruin the track. It could stop you from making any money off the track if the track does do well, or if the beat's not quality, you won't have a quality song. If there's something wrong with the beat sonically, it could throw off the whole track. We're going to get into a couple common issues. The main one, and this is the big problem that people have with YouTube beats. You hear people all the time that down YouTube beats and say, if you use YouTube beats, you're an amateur. And they tell people to quit using YouTube beats. And that's because YouTube producers, some of them will charge 75% to 100% of the royalties of the song, meaning that you buy the lease for 30 to 100 to $1,000 or more, whatever they charge on BeatStars. They can charge whatever they want for the exclusive. You pay that up front, and then they still get 100% of the royalties on the back end. To me, that seems a bit unfair. And when you make a quality track from downloading the YouTube beat, you bring it into the studio and we make a banger, to know that there is no percentage that the artist can even make off of this song is a bit discouraging, because as a pro engineer, I want to see the song blow up. I want the artist to get a billion streams and maybe throw the engineer a little percentage, you know what I'm saying? Or at least see the artist be successful at what we're doing here, because I feel like that is the goal for most artists. Another common mistake is when the artist locks in with their friend that's a producer. You know, they're trying to be Noah and 40 and ride to the top together, and he only uses this producer for beats. To me, that can really hinder the artist to work with only one producer. Even Drake doesn't work with only one producer because you need multiple sounds. So to say that you're going to lock in with your friend who's not even really a pro producer, if you look at it objectively, most of the time it's just the one person you might know that makes beats. There's nothing wrong with hopping on his beats, but don't limit yourself as an artist to only hop on their beats, because oftentimes producers are constantly getting better, developing and changing their sound, and it might not always fit the way that you're developing as an artist. The third most common mistake is that when you listen to the beat, you're not listening on speakers or even headphones. Most people are listening on a TV or through their phone, and they're not getting an actual image of what the song is. They're not hearing the 808 really hit and how it sounds and how everything's going to fit together. So when they bring it to the studio, the beat sounds slightly different. They didn't realize that there's a live bass going underneath, because when you hear it on your phone, it doesn't translate the low end of the song. So you're not hearing the 808 the way that it's really intended, and the way it's going to sound when you perform it on a speaker, or the way it's going to sound, you know, when you release it as a professional track. The solutions for all those problems are possible. That's the good thing. YouTube isn't only bad deals. You can find good deals on YouTube. You can find beats where you maintain 100% of the royalties on YouTube. There are enough YouTube producers that's out there. What I would aim for is a fair split. There are many more producers and many more talented producers that have fair splits, that aren't trying to take 100% of the royalties. And they also don't give it away. They want their credit and they want to grow as a producer too. So being aware that you need a fair split with the producer is very important. Having those split sheets, knowing that you might give up 50% of the track to the producer, understanding what that means and knowing how to split the pie of each song helps you understand your own business as an artist. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is understanding the business, so that you know how to maneuver and you know what percentage of the pie is yours, and you know how money's going to come in, so that you know how to spend that money to help grow your business. The second solution is, don't be afraid to work with other producers. Hit up other producers. Maybe you find a producer on YouTube and you hit him up on Instagram, because most of the time a YouTube producer will have more followers on YouTube than Instagram. They're just a normal person, or maybe they're like a regular teen out in a totally different country and they only have a couple hundred Instagram followers. They may not even speak English. You never know. But if you lock in that actual connection and you build sort of a bond with the producer, you're definitely going to get their better beats because that's a secret producers don't want you to know, especially the YouTube producers. They're posting their throwaway beats. The beats that they're sending out for their top placements, those aren't the beats that you're hearing. To get to that exclusive folder of the actually quality tracks that they know are their best tracks, a lot of the times you have to form a connection with that producer. You have to get to know them. You have to make sure that you can provide them value too, and they know that you're not just going to waste their track or make something terrible over their perfect beat. The more different type beats that you rap on, the more diverse your sound's going to be, and the more you're going to challenge yourself to get better as an artist. Even if you don't release everyone, it's good to see how you do in different lanes and sort of test your strength as a creative artist and maybe form different skills through rapping on different style beats than you would only working with one producer. What was the third point? I forget. I don't have this mapped out necessarily. My phone is the camera. Fuck. The first one was get a good deal on YouTube because some YouTube producers be scamming. The second one was work with more than one producer. Don't rely on your best friend that makes beats to be your only producer, especially if he's not as serious about his craft as you might be about yours. The third one I remembered. Make sure that you hear the beat in a quality way, whether that's through speakers or good quality headphones, maybe studio monitor headphones. Make sure that you're hearing the beat for what it is before you bring it into the studio, where you might be surprised that you didn't hear the low end of the song. Maybe there's an instrument that's sort of out of whack that you don't like that you weren't really picking up when you heard the phone just through your phone speaker because it's not the same. You want to make sure that you're picking quality beats that all sound good because a bad sounding 808 can ruin a song for sure. You want it to thump, you want it to hit, and you can't necessarily rely on your engineer to do that for you if you're not bringing him the stems of the song. You want to make sure that you're picking quality beats so that you can make quality music. I recommend studio monitor speakers or studio monitor headphones because other types of stereos do things to enhance the sound, but it differs from speaker to speaker. Just the way it sounds in one person's car might be totally different than it sounds in another person's car. And especially when you play it just through the phone, not using any type of headphones, you're missing out on almost all of the low end of that music, which when you bring it to the studio, you're going to hear it through a sub and it's going to hit totally different. Those are 3 easy tips to pick better beats so that you can make a better business out of your music. The more quality beats you get, the more quality music you're going to get. The more royalties you keep of the beat, the more money you're going to make off the music so that you can buy more beats, so that you can do better as a professional artist. I hope this helps some artists out there and gives you something to think about as you're scrolling the type beat section. I wish you luck. Subscribe for more advice. Peace.